live from In Search of Sanity World Headquarters. Welcome back to 15 Minutes in Search of Sanity. I'm Mark Wilson, and that once again is Clive Finder. Hello, Clive.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilson.
Have I got the subject today, or do you?
I think we certainly have one subject that I know you wanted to talk about, which was why can't we build things anymore? I believe.
Yeah, what's our governor's name? Newsom.
Yes.
On television the other day, talking about the rail system, the high-speed rail system, as though, yeah, of course it's still on. Of course we're doing it. And I started to think to myself, what the hell is going on? And I know you have friends, we have friends that have built things lately, and it takes forever. So I'm actually going to write a column on this as well for Substack, for a Substack site. And
Right.
I don't know whether to call it California. Why can't we build things anymore? Or when does democracy stop working? Because that's really kind of the conclusion that I've come to. And I actually, rather than just bitching about it, I actually have some what do you call it? Some solutions for it. But yeah, I mean, we could start with the fact that, we're the fifth largest economy in the world. We're home to Silicon Valley. We started and built the entertainment capital of the world. We have some of the most innovative companies on earth. But when it comes to major infrastructure, we just can't seem to get it done. And the high-speed rail system is just one of those things.
Can I make you feel better about yourself, Mark?
I doubt it. I really do.
So, California high-speed rail, right? Voters approved it in 2008.
$33 billion was the budget.
Correct. Guess what the wonderful brothers and sisters of mine back in the United Kingdom approved in 2009?
No idea.
The UK's high-speed 2 system. And guess what? How far do you think they've got?
No idea.
Nowhere.
They have the same problem that we do.
They do. And we've spent about twice what you've spent. I mean, now they're even suggesting that we shouldn't even build it. But get this, it would cost as much to cancel it as it would to build it.
Oh, okay. So in any project, I mean, if you're a company, if you're a government, you see something that needs to be done, and you make the decision to do it, and then you make the plan, and then you do it. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? When a child can, I did that building forts when I was a kid. Hey, guys, we ought to build a fort. Yeah, let's do that. You find some boards, you get together, you put a plan together, you build a thing. A couple hours later, you have a shelter.
So, but why do you I mean, to me, the pathogen is the public sector here. It's the public sector way of building things. I mean, lots is getting built in the private sector.
Well, here's the thing. We've become a state where everybody has a voice, because that's the way California is.
Right.
Everybody has a voice. Everybody must have a say, but no one has the responsibility. So everybody can stop something, but no one can make it happen. No one can make it happen. We have to have a committee first, and then we have to have an environmental review, and then we have to have a public hearing, and then we have a lawsuit, and then we have to have an appeal, and then we have a study, and then we have another lawsuit. I mean, the Golden Gate Bridge, if you remember, I did some research on that. Do you know how long it took them to build the goddamn Golden Gate Bridge? 4 years.
4 years. And that was before there was kind of like any major plant equipment.
And it's astonishing when you consider what was involved. A main span of 4,200 feet. That's the longest suspension bridge span in the world at the time. Construction in deep water with powerful currents. I mean, I'm pretty sure people died. Frequent fog and high winds. It was the middle of the Great Depression, and the technology was nowhere near what we have today. And it took 4 years. We've been with this high-speed rail thing for 18 years. And again, I think it's because we have to stop down for everybody to have a say.
I think that's certainly part of it. I just think that the blob, as it has come to be known, the apparatus or apparatus of government, from the politicians through the civil service, is just totally risk averse. It's totally obtuse. No, they have nothing on the line other than not being re-elected. So they spend most of their time trying to get re-elected and let the bureaucrats run the system, and it just doesn't work. I
But
mean,
are we doing it in the name? And this is where I'm going to get
right.
controversial.
Okay.
Because I think we're doing it in the name of democracy, because democracy's at stake. It's always at stake. So at what point does democracy, I think I said get in the way, but
Right.
at what point does democracy become paralysis, where you can't get anything done? Because it must go through the democratic system. Agencies can say no. Courts can say no. Cities can say no. Counties can say no. Interest groups can say, I mean, you can go on and on and on and on and get a no.
That's it's an interesting. I mean, I don't think it's. Listen, that's certainly partly of it. But there are a lot of there are a lot of democratic countries in the world that get a lot of shit done very quickly. India, for example, that's a democratic country, 1.4 billion people. Their growth rates are huge. They're building Silicon Valley Part 2. They're a democracy. They're a democracy that's what I don't know, 10 times the size of California. The other thing, just as an aside, they can count their votes in 24 hours, and get a turnout twice the size
This is
of
what
the
I'm saying.
California turnout.
This is what I'm saying is like, why do we get in our own way? And how did we get here to a point where we get in our own way? And I think we believe that we're doing it for all the right reasons. Again, when it comes to building things, well, we got to ask everybody to make sure everybody's okay with it. Make sure that town's okay. Make sure the people are okay, and make sure the court's okay. But we don't get anywhere, so we don't build anything. We need
Yeah.
housing. We can't get housing because too many people say no.
But we don't. Well, it is. I mean, actually, let me just play with that idea of democracy for a bit, because you're probably right. Because really, what I wanted to say is there are lots of amazing things being built in America. Just look at SpaceX. I mean, Elon Musk. What is he? He's the what's the word? I can't use
Nerd.
it. Well, I mean, he's literally the man that pretty much everybody loves to hate at the moment. But he's just gone. But I mean, let's look at this. NASA, which is a government-run organization, their rockets are $4 billion a launch. They're fully expendable. Every flight needs a brand new rocket. Along comes SpaceX, Starship is $10 million or less a launch, and you can reuse it. I mean, so we are building things. Elon Musk is building things. We are building, Silicon Valley, between there and Britain, actually, is kind of the home of AI. DeepMind came out of the UK. So what you'll find is as I said earlier, I think the pathogen is the public sector. It's not that we can't. It's just that the government and the bureaucracy, in the name of democracy, but I don't believe it's in democracy. I mean, having been an elected representative, I've worked with the blob, and they are. The longer it takes, I mean, think about it. The longer it takes, the more money they spend. Guess what happens? They're employed. They have to employ more people. There is no accountability. Try and fire somebody try and fire somebody from the trade unions. Try and fire anybody in a public sector organization, and it's very difficult. And here in California, it's so. I think you're right. Actually, I'd never thought of it, Mark. But I think it's a misrepresentation of what democracy means.
Well, I think we worry about the cost of things. We worry about the cost of building things. What happens if we do nothing? I think what people forget is that there's a cost to doing nothing. No building housing, homelessness. You don't build water projects, you get shortages. You don't build transmission lines, you got energy problems because they've got to shut your power down every time the wind blows. So, not solving problems is itself a decision, and it costs somebody along the way.
Well, it costs the taxpayer, it costs us. That's the only people who pay the price. I mean, if you think about it, it's it go back to the spacing. Apollo was doing something that only government could do in the 60s. SpaceX today is doing something that the government can no longer do at a fraction of the price. The only thing that's changed is in government there was no incentive. It wasn't, physics haven't changed, the laws of science haven't changed. The only difference is, SpaceX is a market-facing company, for profit. Government isn't. Government
Well,
is a self-serving entity.
we need, and again, I don't want to just bitch about it, because it's so easy to
So
bitch
what
about it.
have you got? You said you had some
Well,
solutions.
I think, and maybe not solutions, but suggestions on how we can overcome it, rather than just sitting around. Because I think we consistently ask ourselves, or somebody out there is saying, "Well, what could go wrong? Here's a project we'd like to do. We'd like to build a high-speed rail. It sounds like a pretty good idea." I mean, even for me, it's not okay. We're going to get from San Francisco to L.A. a high-speed rail, and it's going to take 2 hours. I think something like that, 2.5 hours to get from L.A. to San Francisco with high-speed rail. That sounds like a pretty cool project. I might be for that. But here's what everybody does. They say, "Well, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? We need to form a committee." I'm saying, let's go back to what California was. Back when we built the Golden Gate Bridge, back when Hollywood was built, back when we built the amazing infrastructures that we actually have in this state and in this country, for God's sake, and that is a culture of yes. A culture of yes, period. It doesn't take a whole lot more to say yes than no.
Didn't one of the presidents say, "Yes, we can"? Who was that? Was that Obama? I think it
I
was.
I don't know. If it was, I have
Anyway.
to change that whole thing.
Hey, he was a pretty good guy,
But
not a
no,
bad president.
I don't. Yeah. Let's start with a culture of
Yes.
yes
Yeah,
going
that's
forward.
yes. There
Because
is
I feel, and it's just a feeling. I don't have data to back this up, but I bet I could find it. I bet I could find it. The number of negatives, no's, as soon as any kind of major project is brought up in any city, town, county in this state. No, we can't do that. We can't do that.
well,
No,
I got some facts for you there.
we'll go. We have 2 minutes left.
So there is a state, talking of Elon Musk and Gavin Newsom and, let's tax all of the highest producing people. But in Texas, Dallas and Houston alone in 2024, they approved more housing permits than the entire state of California.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
There you go.
And that's what they say. That's why people move there, because they
Yeah.
go, "No, you want to build something? Come on over. We can get it done in 6 months." How long is it going to take in California? 60 years?
60,
Come
well,
on.
and a lot more expensive. So there are things called impact fees if you want to build. The average impact fee per apartment in California is $29,000. So that's all of the things you want to know. Guess how much it is in Texas?
$1.50.
$1,000.
There you go. See? Might as well be $1.50.
And I'm here to tell you that it's just the same as in the UK. I mean, we can't build high-speed rail, we can't build houses. The problem is the blob. And the blob's culture is not a culture of yes. It's a culture of why not.
The
Not-
solution.
Yeah.
That's actually goes very well into my number 2, and it's just I only have 2. The blob, part of the blob, whatever part of the blob is responsible for the delay needs to take accountability for that. What agency caused the delay? What lawsuit caused the delay? What decision added all these costs? and hold them accountable. I want to know because I don't feel like I do know. It's just again, the high-speed rail went from, what did we say? How many billions? Like
30
over
billion?
100. It's like,
Yeah.
did you not get a budget ahead of time? Did you not? It makes no sense to me, and so hence we're searching for sanity in that. But an accountability of yes, let's change the culture, and then let's hold people responsible, the people that are responsible for holding things up. So I know who to address my anger to, and that's
Well,
all.
I'm not sure that angers, I mean, what, but you can't get rid of them. You
Do I
cannot get rid of the
want to
bureaucrat. You can't get rid of the blob. The only people who can get rid of the blob are the politicians and the legislature. And when you're living in a state where 55% of the GDP is basically the blob, you're hardly going to reduce it, are you, in size?
Well, okay, so let's just end it
That's in, yeah.
on California needs. How about this? How about this? How about this? California needs better balance. You can protect the environment and still build housing.
Two things can be true at once, Mark.
You can listen to communities and still make a decision. And it doesn't have to be, well, it's China. I was going to say, in China, you think they're asking, hey, what do you people think? They see a need and they just do it. Somewhere along the line, if someone says no, they go, I'm sorry about your no. We're doing it anyway. So I don't think
It's
it's a
my
question about whether we can build a train. I think it's a question of whether we can still solve big problems and get things done by having that yes culture.
right. Well, they're doing it in Texas. Anyway,
I'll be writing a column on this, and I'm sure you'll all be
I'm looking forward to
mesmerized
reading
by
it. But wait a minute, we got to run it through we've got to run it through the system. We know we do have a system of approvals before you can get anything
it. Right. Anyway,
how
I think that's
vast
going to
are.
do it.
Okay.
Our 15 minutes in search of sanity today. Where can people see us, hear us?
They can see us if you just put into your browser in search of sanity.substack.com. And I'm sure that our producer will also put that up on the screen for you.
And by the way, people can like us, can't they? I mean, we need to share. I think we have like 2 people that actually listen to us. We need more. We need like 5.
Oh, don't. Let's see if we can build something, Mark. Yeah, no, you can like us. You can write to us. The Substack, everything is on Substack, and all of everything we've written, everything we've produced. You can contact us through there. You can share us. You can recommend us, and we would very much appreciate that.
You can bitch about it. Tell your friends you hate us. I don't care.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We will catch you again on In Search of Sanity. Again, yeah, please, if there's something you want us to tackle, send us a note and we'll consider it. Or we'll put it, actually, we'll have to have a committee meeting and then there'll be it's a culture of yes. We might do it.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, everybody.